I just got double beam. Dude, we really... Dude, I'm nearly at 7. I'm nearly at level 90.
I'm now artillery! I am now artillery! I am now artillery! I need that boom boom!
Help, no mister. Help.com. That's my new name. Help.com. What is this I just witnessed? What's someone off a zip line? I only just realized I think someone's there around me. Assist code. Nope, I don't need it. Bye.
Bye.
Just the live stream up, I'll watch it.
I did. Comment down below where I should drop next.
Community needs to start protecting
Pretty nice gun.
I've been running a clinic down here for the last 9 months. And I have been treating your kids like
I can actually shoot medium range now. I have to be like when the Marauders and be like, brr.
you are fighting each other. And you are living in a prison of your own construction.
Are you freaking kidding? No. It has to be. Oh boy, I hear somebody. I'm gonna need these. I think they're running about your nads.
Not who I was expecting to see that. Likewise. Bruce, with you? None. See you doing? Well, look, I had that here. I mean, you're in a lovely space, but nothing. You're around in the patient. You work here? Yeah, fine. It's a long story.
But I can turn the Narrows into a place where you and another to live.
Yes.
Crap.
I'll ask you one more time. Why were you here? You were the one who cheated me. That's all you want. They were trying to kill you. You narrows, bro. That's what you gave them. Those huge fake narrows, man. Gordon. God. Well, this was a piece of toilet plane, and yet, if I'm not mistaken, it's covered in plastic explosive basically. It's also
God.
what seem like sugar water. Whoever built it takes pride in their work and has considerable talent, historical knowledge, and look at the detail. Is it elaborate? Think of easier ways to kill a room full of criminals than a toy plane. Perhaps it would take to flag someone specifically, not destroy the whole room. Like an assassination attempt. So, who was your target? Whoever this was, we should be made an example of. I mean, can't they tell you were trying to help? It wasn't like that. Oh, of course it was. I just think that maybe the best thing for the Arrows is to burn it to the ground. Start over. Well, that would certainly suit everyone, wouldn't it? I'm just saying, someone tried to blow you a bit, and I bet they're going to try it again. So I'm going to find them, and when I do, Grundy's going to pull them apart, limb by limb. Isn't that right, Big Top? Hey, guys. You okay?
That was so great.
Mm. Whoa.
There are a few places in the city that collect and sell antique toys, but only this one also manufactures its own. Thanks. Help me, gentlemen.
I already have a full inventory of weapons. How did that happen?
What are yours? Where'd you find it? Yours or not? Finally, late 1944, my son wrestled up. We have these, yes. To alter carry a bomb. Yeah. How many people work here? You know my father? And where is he? Upstairs. Go get him. Got a hunch you'd like to share? No. It's a bad feeling. Of course, I'd happily be wrong. Who buys these things? Not sure any list for sale. I don't see price tags on anything. Maybe that's market. Yeah. Get the lieutenant to GCPD. To be honest, I'm sure. Sit down! idea what my father did. A machine gun built into the wooden hand of his nutcracker here. Excuse me if I find it hard to believe. I didn't know. My father was to be disturbed. He also built a bomb around the floor of the building this morning. We need to know why. Who is the target? I don't know. Has anyone suspicious been here recently? Especially George? No one comes in here. His workshop. He mostly works at night. Lots of the things he makes and ships them. What? Mom, I done. 3 days ago, I thought I heard him talking to someone behind his door. His voice was too low. Didn't want me to hear him. Did you hear a name? I heard my father repeat something like he was confirming a name. He said he was Doc. Doc? Who's that? I have no idea. Hey, can you deal with this? I'm gonna talk to somebody who might know who the Doc is.
all those brats over there to keep you down? Why me? Because you're a partner now, and also the one paying is a friend of yours.
What's up? Champagne?
No.
Why? You don't buy me. Not my one.
We've got an opportunity to strike an approaching horde. Get ready for a fight. We've got 10 minutes to take out as many husks as possible. If you bag enough husks, we win. If you don't, we don't. Don't forget to collect those husk and mist monsters.
US Navy ship was on an operation in the Pacific and had deployed its sea anchor, a type of anchor that simply slows down the ship through drag and doesn't leave the seabed, usually being deployed during storm or tough weather. When the crew pulled the sea anchor out of the water, they found that something had been tangled in the line, not an unheard of occurrence. But this was different. It was massive, bigger than a male great white, and at its head was a very peculiar
Hi,
large.
whoa.
So, in typical imaginative fashion for those main animals, it was called the megaman shark. While the gaping jaw of this creature may be alarming at first,
I don't know what just happened.
it might have the same terrifying teeth of the great white, looking rather toothless. That's because this massive shark is a filter feeder shark. Filter feeders are among the largest creatures in the ocean.
Where am I?
The two largest fish in the ocean, the whale shark and the basking shark, are both filter feeders. Filter feeder sharks feed on tiny particles of extremely small organisms that float around in the water, mostly plankton. Plankton are themselves tiny, even sometimes microscopic organisms that just float around. They're not really big or strong enough to decide where to go themselves, so are normally pulled along with the current. Filter feeders find these swarms of plankton that have been gathered up by the current, take a big gulp of seawater containing plankton, and then push the water out of them, leaving the plankton behind to be consumed. That's why filter feeders, like the megamouth shark, have such large gaping mouths, to take in as much food-filled water as possible. Despite its massive size compared to many sharks, the megamouth shark is actually the smallest of the three filter feeder sharks. As you can imagine, given it was only found in 1976, it's an exceedingly rare species of shark. Not even 100 have been thought to observe since US Navy ship accidentally brought them aboard half a century ago. Surprisingly, when they are found, it's not terribly uncommon for them to be found near or at the surface of the ocean, which only adds to the mystery of how it went unnoticed for so long, and why they're still such a rare sight today. Despite its rarity, the megamouth isn't considered endangered, as there's so little information known about the shark and little to suggest that there's a risk of it going extinct. In 1990, the megamouth was caught, tagged, and back to the ocean to monitor its behaviour. It was found that during the day, the shark operated at a depth of up to 160 metres, or 520 feet, but at night, the shark would swim up to near surface levels. This is neither a rarity nor a great surprise, as this follows the movement of plankton during the day-night cycle.
What is Love
Many
90?
animals that feed on plankton follow the same routine.
Oh, level 90.
Another illustration of the megamouth
But I'm
lived inside its famously large mouth. While this is often attributed as being a lure for plankton, others have theorised that it could be means of megamouth sharks recognising each other. Both of these theories, however, are just theories, and neither have been related proven. Where the megamouth lives is another part of the mystery, as they've been sighted all over the world, from Australia to the west coast of the US, to Japan to South Africa, although the most specimens have been found in the rivers around Japan and the Philippines. This doesn't necessarily mean this is where they most commonly reside, however, as these areas are known for more widespread shark fishing. Even though it's large, the megamouth shark is actually very slow, considerably slower than sharks. fish which it has also been known to feed upon. Despite its rarity, the megamouth shark is allowed to make a very important
No!
shark. Or after the basking shark and megamouth ancestors diverged. The study concluded that it was very likely that the basking shark and the megamouth both had capabilities separately, so both convergently animals. Interestingly, the study also suggested that the convergent evolution in relation to human morphology is still going on within lineages, meaning that more recent samples of tooth shapes are more similar to one another than that of their ancestors, and will continue to evolve closer together. That's it for the next episode of Shark Week. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
And sometimes full of teeth. We've all heard of Jaws, the most famous great white shark in history. But did you know there are around 500 species of shark, and that some of them are either rare, super weird, or both? From the ancient monster with a mouth like a buzzsaw to the modern era giant which lives more than 500 years. Here's the 15 most rare shark species in the ocean. Number 15, Helicoprion shark. The Helicoprion is one massive predator that we no longer have to worry about while out doing and swimming in coastal waters. This giant went extinct around 250 million years ago. The fossil records, including some recent discoveries, have allowed scientists to put together a fascinating picture. An example of how it's led to researchers conclude that the fish could grow to as much as 12 meters. That's twice the size of the Another fascinating aspect of the Helicoprion is the formation of its teeth and jaw. And it's just this which has given it the nickname the buzzsaw shark. The wall of teeth was a mystery for many years, as attempts were made to construct the creature from the remains, and the bone was placed in a variety of positions on the fish's body. It was a bizarre protrusion from the lower jaw, which allowed this species to catch and eat prey more easily. Furthermore, they were able to conclude that the Helicoprion kind of rat, although they are close up. Biggest and successful predator of the seas during its lifetime. One crazy looking. Before we go on to this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now from under your bed when you're Number 14, Greenland shark. Here's another pretty damn huge fish, the Greenland shark. And ancestors in terms of size, sharks mainly inhabit the waters of the North Atlantic Ocean and still
Come on, all the zombies. Get around me. Get around me.
In length. The average size of a mature adult is more like 13 feet, or 4 meters, and this full size is achieved at around age 150. That's right. Sharks only at 150 years old. That's parenting. Have had to put up with teenagers since the American Civil War. lenses of some individuals has placed their age at least 100 years old. That makes it vertebrate species on Earth. Think about that. There are people in our seas right now who were born at a time when King Henry VIII on the throne of England and the Spanish were still at war with the Aztecs in Mexico. They are now a near-threatened species, often accidentally caught in trawler nets. Let's hope these sharks get the chance of incredible longevity more often. Number 13. Whale shark. Keeping on the theme of huge size, here's a champion fish. The largest in the world is still alive today. The whale shark. The name might be confusing to some, but these giants are definitely sharks and not mammals. Although their behavior can resemble that of whales. For their size is certainly whale-like, and they tend to grow to around 40 feet or 12 meters in length, which is as long as a school bus, and their mouths are around 5 feet or 1.5 meters wide. These huge mouths help whale sharks with filter feeding. This pretty much means opening that face hole as wide as possible and letting water pass through the body, with internal organs picking up any morsels of food. This makes whale sharks a little less aggressive than their predatory cousins. Whale sharks they seem to particularly enjoy the red. Similar to the whale shark, the megamouth is a filter feeder, and in fact, the two species are closely related, with the megamouth being a little smaller. However, that mouth giving it a characteristic gaping look which, while kind of terrifying, is only designed to catch small stuff. Where the megamouth stands out is its incredible rarity. These sharks are so mysterious, we hardly know anything about them, and in spite of its size, we only discovered their existence as recently as 1976. Overall, sightings amount to barely giants of the shark species, we go to one of the smallest, the bamboo shark. This shark is also sometimes the ocean floor, as well as
Okay. I'm not sure how I did this, but okay. It's not fade. It's like 90% kit. There we go. Load. Oh my god, I don't know how I did that though.
pointed for tearing into softer forms of prey, while the other side is flat and adapted for chewing on shelled prey, while protecting the sharp part of the tooth from damage. This is one shark you could get to know yourself, as they are popular additions to home aquariums. That said, this shark is sometimes capable of a virgin birth, where females produced young without ever having mated. So if you happen to purchase a single female bamboo shark, you might end up with a few more mouths to feed than you had bargained for with this miraculous little shark. Number 10. Frilled shark. Here's one shark that looks like it just gave up on evolving, feeling pretty happy with its utterly terrifying prehistoric features. The beady green eyes and crinkly brown skin are just some of the features which make this look like a living fossil. And it also swims like a snake, waving its body through the water until it encounters its favorite prey, squid, which it snaps up and often swallows whole. Its rows of sharp, needle-like teeth are ideal for tearing apart soft-bodied squid, but it will happily eat other fish and sharks if they come close enough. Finally, the gills have a kind of frilled shape, which gives the shark its name, as well as the look of a 16th century courtier. Well, kind of. These sharks are mysterious and rare, living deep in the ocean, and we know little about them. Our best guess is that they are one of the rarest shark species on Earth, although whether they are endangered is unknown. Unlike some sharks, the frilled shark gives birth to live young, with the young hatching from their eggs inside the mother and then surviving on the yolk for up to 3.5 years, making it one of the longest gestation periods for vertebrae. Number 9. Goblin shark. If you've ever seen the old sci-fi horror movie Alien, you'll know that the most terrifying thing in all of space is the xenomorph, the eponymous alien of the film, designed by Swiss artist H.R. Geiger, with one intention: to scare the living daylights out of you. One feature most people remember from the xenomorph is that when it opens its mouth, another mouth creeps out to finish sucking the brains out of its victim. Well, you don't have to go to outer space to find such a creature, as there's one right here in our oceans, the goblin shark. These sharks live down on the ocean floor, most often in the seas around Japan, and are named for their resemblance to the terrifying goblins of Japanese folklore. They can grow up to 12 feet or 4 meters in length and are colored an unusual pink, just to add to their charm. They are extremely rare, and we have only been able to study the few examples which have occasionally shown up in fishing nets. But their most striking feature is their extendable jaw. They have extra long noses, which make detecting prey easier. But at the same time, the little fish and mollusks which form their diet, that extra split second to get away before the shark's mouth can react, except the goblin shark can thrust its jaws out of its mouth to trap its prey in truly horrifying fashion. Truly, nature is sometimes just jaw-dropping. Number 8. Nurse shark. The nurse shark is definitely not the rarest shark on our list. In fact, these sharks remain quite abundant in their natural habitat, which is the bottom of the sea in shallow, warm waters of the eastern Pacific and western Atlantic. Their name comes from the Old English word meaning bottom-dwelling shark, hers, which over time became nurse, and they do make a strange sucking sound as they go about their business feeding on the ocean floor, not unlike that of a nursing baby. They are slow-moving and not particularly dangerous to humans, although at up to 14 feet in length, that's 4.2 meters, they are impressive giants. Some divers have discovered that the smaller ones can even be extremely friendly to humans, stopping to be petted and stroked, and seeming to enjoy the attention, like the puppy dogs of the ocean floor. That said, an angry nurse shark will give a diver a pretty nasty bite, if it feels like it. So maybe not best to get too friendly. They are prized for their skins, which being unusually smooth, make high-quality leather, and the oil produced by their large livers. While under pressure from human activity, we can at least expect nurse sharks to prosper in the wild for some time yet. Number 7. Angular rough shark. This little shark, which lives down on the muddy seabed off the coasts of Europe and Africa, is both rare and vulnerable, and it looks a little like a tiny sailboat with its large protruding fins, as well as a body which has a kind of triangular shape to it. Like other bottom-dwelling sharks, the angular rough shark breathes through spiracles behind its eyes, and on this shark, they happen to be particularly large, giving these guys a little bit of the crazy eyes look. Maybe this is the reason behind one of the myths associated with the angular rough shark, that it brings bad luck to fishermen. For this reason, and that it has no commercial value, fishermen do their best to avoid catching these sharks. Furthermore, unlike a lot of sharks, even being caught for a short time seems to be fatal, and there are no cases of accidental catches being thrown back and surviving. They were thought to have gone extinct in the Adriatic Sea, but recent sightings have given hope of a comeback. Good news for sharks, but bad news for superstitious fishermen. Number 6. Thresher shark. The thresher shark is one of the most fascinating species of shark in our oceans. A close relative of the great white shark, this species has one very distinctive feature: its enormous tail. The tail on a thresher shark can be almost as long as the shark itself. And one of its benefits is that it gives this species a huge speed advantage, making it one of the fastest sharks in the sea, capable of swimming at speeds up to 30 miles per hour, or 50 kilometers per hour. The name thresher comes from the farming tools that resemble the huge shark tails, and it was long assumed that the tails were used for hunting, but it was not until 2010 that the technique was finally observed. It had been believed thresher sharks lashed the tail from side to side to stun prey like sardines, but in fact, the shark arrives in a shoal at huge speed, then uses its fins to slam on the brakes before launching the tail over its head like a huge whip, killing and stunning several fish at once, which can be eaten at leisure. And you thought it was the front of the shark you had to watch out for. Thresher sharks are one of the rare species of shark that have warm blood, which gives them extra speed and agility, and they have a long history with humans, first described by Aristotle in ancient Greece. They have been at the center of many myths and folklore traditions of the sea. Watch out for that scorpion-like tail though. Number 5. Hammerhead shark. One of the most recognizable sharks in our oceans is the charismatic hammerhead shark, with its enormous hammer-shaped head. There are, in fact, 10 different species of hammerhead, with the biggest being the great hammerhead, which can grow up to 18 feet or 5.5 meters, and weigh in at 1,000 pounds, or 450 kilos. The chances of meeting one of these monsters are slim though, as the great hammerhead is in danger of extinction, being overfished for its fins, which are eaten as soup in some parts of the world. The hammerhead shape gives the shark a hunting advantage, it is believed, as it allows the shark to carry more of the cells that allow it to sense the electromagnetic fields of its prey, giving it far better electromagnetic vision than other species. These sharks are also known to spend a lot of their time swimming sideways, which allows for more efficient swimming, and one species is the only omnivorous shark known to science, enjoying seaweed snacks along with its main diet of meat. Finally, these sharks get tanned from the sun and seem to have properties in their skin which resist cancer, helping us to understand skin cancer better. Another incredible species of shark. Number 4. Angel shark. The angel shark is like no other shark. In fact, it's easily mistaken for a ray due to its flat body. These bottom feeders prefer to lurk beneath the sandy seabed, waiting for unsuspecting prey to come just that little bit too close before their incredible strike speed sees them shoot out of cover at a 90-degree angle to grab their meal in a jaw full of sharp teeth. Most sharks have to constantly move to be able to breathe, allowing the water to flow through their bodies to get enough oxygen in. But the angel shark's hunting style means it spends a lot of time lying still, so it has spiracles on the top of its head which pump water through its body, allowing it to breathe while motionless. These sharks, there are in fact 15 species of angel shark, like to live near coral reefs in the oceans surrounding the Americas, and luckily most of the nations in North America have now banned the fishing of this near endangered species, so we can hope to see a recovery of the angel shark, sometimes paradoxically known as a sand devil population. Angel or devil, that can only be good news. Number 3, horn shark. The horn shark, as you might have guessed from its name, has a pretty unusual appearance, with its most prominent feature being 2 rigid horns over each of its eyes. They also have 2 spines sticking out from their backs, kind of like an old TV antennae. These small sharks live off the Pacific coast of North America and have a somewhat lazy air about them. They don't like to swim much, preferring to shuffle along the seabed, pushed by their fins. And in fact, the longest recorded distance a horn shark has been known to travel is about 10 miles, or 16 kilometers. They might have called this the sloth shark. However, they are still predators and know how to catch a meal when they need one. And they largely hunt at night, but they too are sometimes the hunted. And our friend the angel shark has been observed attempting to eat a horn shark, only to spit it out after getting a nasty sting from one of the spines. So, being popular off the coast of Mexico, you might say this is one hot and spicy shark. Number 2, basking shark. The basking shark is the second biggest shark in the oceans, after the whale shark, and this giant can be found in warm, temperate coastal waters all over the world. Basking sharks are plankton eaters, just like their whale shark cousins, and they glide through the ocean with that huge mouth wide open to filter out the tiny sea creatures as they pass through. These sharks have figured in the mythology of many countries, especially Britain and Japan, and this tradition has included even recent myth creations where the rotten carcasses of basking sharks, known as lobsters, washing up on British and Japanese beaches have been believed to be those of ancient plesiosaur or sea monsters unknown to humanity. Furthermore, these slow-moving and non-aggressive sharks have long been popular sources of oil, food, and leather, but the species is now endangered and protected in many countries. The basking shark might also have been popular with fishermen due to having the smallest size-to-brain ratio of any shark, meaning they're probably a little on the slow-witted side. Certainly not the Einstein of the shark world. The smallest shark out there? Well, it's one that the basking shark is sometimes mistaken for the great white shark. Number 1, saw shark. Back on the list of crazy-looking sharks that might belong in some kind of weird underwater carpentry kit, along with the hammerhead, we have the saw shark. This shark looks like it was designed by a high school kid with a vivid imagination, but it is 100% real and living out there in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. There are in fact now 8 different species of saw shark recognized by science. The most recent discovery coming in 2014 when a new species was identified near the Philippines. These strange-looking creatures have their teeth protruding all along a flattened snout, which can make up almost 1/4 of their body length. The snouts are used for hunting and defense.